Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Potluck. In this video, I'm going to spend some time demonstrating what I've been doing because I've been very quiet as far as my upload speed, and I've been working very diligently behind the scenes to provide you guys value. And when we last left off, we were talking about trying to launch my own algorithmic trading program. I went through the funding stage. We had a lot of support as far as individuals that helped, as far as just saying, hey, I'm here, I appreciate what you're doing, just keep up the good work. But I had to return everybody's money on behalf of we didn't reach the goal I was looking for. Now, this didn't end the funding process for the campaign or what I was doing, but it did provide me the opportunity to go back to the drawing board and rethink everything from the ground up and take it on as far as a new approach, and to make sure that I have more material to demonstrate before I attempt to take that leap of faith again and try and launch this the way it needs to be launched. And from my perspective, I've worked alongside a lot of algorithmic trading companies, a lot of companies in general, and you can look at the majority of the tech monopolies online and you can tell that they are very short-sighted in their approach in how they are more concerned about the short-term value with limiting the actual long-term value that could be created if they just ignored the initial profitability and they really just focused on making sure that they set up a foundation for extended long-term growth. So for this reason, that is my main goal. My main priority is to make sure I set up a foundation for all of us to continuously grow from, and to make sure that I have a foundation in place that is able to scale to the demands that I actually want to create with this ecosystem, with this application that I am developing day by day. Now, for myself, I am a lone developer in this process. I have done everything as far as this whole project myself, and I am continuing to build it out myself, and it is a very ambitious project for somebody my age, and especially there is a steep learning curve involved, but that is not to stop me, and I don't want to say this to encourage anybody else looking to achieve the impossible or really ambitious feats to just continue the work. And it's just taking it one day at a time, knocking off one problem off the list and just working your way up. Now, for me, I have a whole lifetime to build out the perfect ecosystem. I am 22 years old, so there is still a long time to actually achieve this. Now, what I wanted to demonstrate in this video is how far I have come since the last update video on the project, and to kind of show you where we are at, and I think that you will be pleasantly surprised with the foundation I'm able to demonstrate so far. So, let's jump to it. Voila. Welcome to the brand new Potluck ecosystem. This is still very much in development, and this video is very, very early on, but I wanted to at least demonstrate some of the progress I have made in developing this out. So the first thing that you'll notice is that the look of the overall application is a lot nicer. I made a huge upgrade and leap from the overall scheme of the last application I developed, and I made sure to basically put the time in making sure that you guys have something really pretty to look at. Because that's a big part of it, and I think that this is definitely something very, very pretty, and just to make sure that you guys have the ability to change stuff up. So as far as this is concerned, you can basically change the dashboard setup to whatever color suits you, which I find pretty cool, and there's a lot of other really neat things that I've set the foundation up for so that you guys can really get the most value out of this ecosystem in general. Now, I want to dive into a few of the mechanics that I think that you guys are going to like, and I could spend a lot of time. This is honestly just going to be the homepage. It still needs a lot of work, so take that into consideration, but the key things which I do want to demonstrate is the graphing and the trading mechanics that I've already set up a foundation for to build off on. And This whole application is built in Python, and the reason being is because Python is a very powerful programming language for data science, analytics, and to basically set up a long-term foundation to make sure that we can really dive into information. And that's the key that I want to bring to this industry, is really understanding the information relationship between the news and a particular investment. And the way to go into that is not an algorithm. You know, of course you're going to need algorithms as far as structuring and funneling up specific areas, because there is too much information online to basically break down. But the key thing is how you break down this information and how you hand it over to the community. And that's really been the thing that I've been working on trying to develop. Now, the first thing that I want to demonstrate is basically breaking down data to a fundamentals as far as tables, right? So this is a table, basic information, but if you break this table down and you go into the next stage of it, right? So this is going to be the next stage of the table, is bringing it into the 3D spectrum. And how do you correlate data proportionally to what information is actually demonstrating? And how can you get the most value out of it? So this one's specifically built on Twitter so that you can gather, you know, the most popular words that are being used at any given point, but this is very, very basics, and I'm going to be correlating it more specifically to altcoins in particular and investing, but this is just, like I said, the foundation stages. So as you can see, you can maneuver around here. You have an awesome 3D space to be looking within. And you can dive, zoom in, zoom out, and then there are a bunch of other different municipalities that you can cipher throughout to kind of get a better idea of the scheme. And the whole thing is, how are you relationally breaking up the data, and how does it all correlate? Now, this takes a lot of tweaking, a lot of development in general to at least get to this point, but I think that what we have already is very impressive, and I think that as I continue to go down the list, I think that you guys are going to be very impressed with what I have already built out. So the next thing is graphs, right? So how do you line up graphs in retrospect to each other? How do you correlate the curvature of particular assets over time, the interest rate involved with getting into these assets, and all of that? And that's why I built out this and as a way to really just show that you can go really in depth into, you know, the different perspectives that graphs have to offer. And you can zoom out, zoom in, and you can get different approaches as far as the overall scheme and the overall curvature, depending on, like, for example, you can see over here, it's correlated to year time frames as far as interest rates are concerned, and the overall year. And you can see as the interest rate increases, in retrospect, what it does to the graph. Now, this is all very, very important, and the next thing that I really want to demonstrate is showing you guys the graphing mechanics, because the graphing mechanics is what you guys are very interested in as far as assets are concerned, and I wanted to spend a lot of time focusing and developing something that seamlessly works, that is able to demonstrate a lot of the key aspects that we come to love and know with trading. So as far as this is concerned, this is very, very basic as far as a graph is concerned, but just to show you, for example, you want to zoom in, that's how you do it, and then you can specifically look in at a particular niche within the asset. Now there's more correlating that we can do. For example, if we jump up here, we could change the color of the candlestick. We can go into a line graph, we can go into a mountain graph, a bar chart, or a colored bar chart. I personally like the colored bar chart, but we also have studies that we can jump into as far as Bollinger Bands are concerned. Well, bam, we got, you know, a bunch of other really powerful indicators that we can use to get a basis for our investing. Now, we still have to go a lot more in depth as far as how does this correlate into a trading bot, but I think my particular, as I am a small content creator, my first approach is not to be focused on the trading bot aspect, because I'm not in this space to build a trading trading bot. I'm here to build something for long-term value. And if I go to rush out a trading bot, I do not feel like I could do it justice. Where if I set up a foundation so that I can gather specific data, then we can use that in the long term to set up a long-term foundation for an amazing trading bot within our community. And that's the overall goal at the end stages of how this whole development process is going. But the first thing is basically deciphering information, and this is the hardest part, which I'm just trying to demonstrate. So as far as automating this information so that we can actually correlate it to trades, that is to come, but that just takes time and a lot of development. And it's really easy to jump within any of these individual, basically charts to set up a buy or sell. And the cool thing is that it correlates to what is going on in real time, specifically to the candle, so that you can get a general idea of what your asset is doing, and you can make sure that you're getting in at the lowest point possible. So that's just one of the prerequisites that I've already set up for. And as far as the order books, like I said, I'm not going to be really focusing on the automating the trading bot yet, more just the data. But it's really easy to bring in new charts. As you can see here, just click it, and then you got a new chart, and that's as easy as it gets. You can't get any easier than that. So just trying to show you guys the foundation. Now, the correlating that I want to do specifically and making sure that we match each investment up with a dashboard. And I think that this is a very powerful mechanic so that you can have the ability to look through multiple popular social media networks and to find the news that is best for your investing. And the way that I'm going about doing this is right below, as you can see here, we have another graph so that you can dive into more specific areas so that you can correlate a specific asset in retrospect to the asset up on the table. And then you can bring in a bunch of other indicators that can't be brought in from this yet, but we have plans on adding eventually. It's a slow process, like I said. But the cool thing is like I said, this is very constructible, which I find very powerful in making sure that, you guys can set up a system that works for you so that you can set up something that you can continuously go to, and then you have the freedom to design it the way that you can get the most value out of. And that's really why I set it up. So as far as this is concerned, the graphing is one. We are connected to the Steemit platform, as you can see here. This is Steemit with upvotes, comments, everything else. We are connected to the Reddit platform, and you can actually log in on Reddit, and we have this awesome, cool little, widget. And you can basically dive into the home page, you can dive into your account, but it will all automatically be designated for the particular asset. And then we have the Twitter feed. Now, each one of these Twitter feeds is going to be designed for each asset. So you will get the feeds of the asset correlating to the top graph so that you can see if there's any relevant news for your trading as far as all this is concerned. So this is just the basis that I'm really just set up the foundation for. I continue to build off of all this, but I really just wanted to demonstrate just some of the work I have done. We also have Discord integrated, which I've already demonstrated before. But yeah, we got a lot of really cool features as far as all this is concerned. I know this is just one page, just trying to show off some of the basics of my work, but there is a lot more to come. I just don't want to reveal all my cards at one time, and I'm trying to at least get you guys excited in some regards, keep you guys engaged as far as the progress is concerned, and to show you guys that, behind the scenes, even though I'm not putting out videos every single day, I am working every single day on a mission to make sure that I can set up a foundation so that we can really have the long-term value we are all looking for, and so that I can integrate a community that we can all build off of. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to hand the power back to the small content creators, and that's my mission at the end of this. So if you guys like this video, I'm about to dive into another video right after I publish this one, specifically diving into the technical analysis, and we will break down some of these investments. So look forward to that. I know it's been very, very quiet within the whole cryptocurrency market, and the correlating markets have seen a lot of different volatility, and a lot is up in the air, and I'm just going to try my best to try and decipher some of it, and hopefully we can work together to create a strategy. So hopefully you guys join me for the second video, and I will see you guys there. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day trading the market.